Hi, thank you for visiting my RC channel. My name is Bill and I'm an RC radio control enthusiast, and I also do RC reviews. Thank you for joining me for this review of this Emax BabyHawk R Pro 4 Mini Magnum 3 F4 4-inch 3 to 6 cell FPV racing drone. Supplied courtesy of Banggood.com to review and share with you. Comes in this box with these Emax stickers, decals. There's a little booklet for the camera and this instruction manual. Giving the specifications, some basics, the VTX bands and channels, showing some that are blocked. Changing VTX settings via Betaflight, stack diagram, and Betaflight settings. And the Emax BabyHawk R Pro 4. Comes with 3 sets of props. So I've got one set here. I'm going to leave the other 2 sets in the box. So this is a bind and fly version and comes with a FrSky D8 receiver built in. Got a Matic F405 FC flight controller with Betaflight OSD and 5 UART ports. Emax Mini Magnum 3 35 amp BL Heli 32-bit D-Shot 1200 4-in-1 ESCs. And these motors, you just need to try and turn them and you can feel how strong and powerful the stators are RS 1606 3300 kV motors on this 166mm wheelbase, and this isn't a solid frame. As you can see, we get a spare arm set, which is good, and we've got a bottom plate and a top plate that holds it together over here. And one of the big things about this are these Emax Avan Scimitar 4-inch propellers, 3-blade, but we get a full set with a 2.4 pitch, this one, and it tells you engraved on the hub whether it's a 2.4 or a 2.8. So the 2.4 pitch is for better control and flight time, and the 2.8 pitch for better speed and efficiency. And then we get a spare prop of each. So an additional 2 clockwise propellers and 2 counterclockwise propellers. So this is basically going to give 5-inch performance on a smaller and lighter form factor. And let's have a look at the weight. This weighs 165 grams with the props on. And if we include this 850 mAh 4-cell battery that comes with this, it comes in at 263 grams. So unfortunately 13 grams over the 250, but one could possibly use a lighter battery too. This also comes with this Emax Cadex S1 CCD FPV camera, which is a 2.1mm 600 TBL, PAL camera with a 4:3 aspect ratio, and can be adjusted, because if you look at the angle on this tells me this is going to fly almost at 90 degrees. Also comes with a 25 milliwatts up to 200 milliwatt VTX, and this is a 5.8 gigahertz antenna that has an MMCX connector. We can see two big capacitors here to reduce or eliminate noise. Micro USB ports to plug into Betaflight. The battery is an XT30 plug. And this battery has an ATC rating too. And has SmartAudio on board as well. This should be durable. This Canopy is a hard plastic, seems strong. Not quite sure about the protection for the camera here. It should be okay. No access to the bind button from what I can see. So it looks as though I'll need to take the canopy off to bind. So let me go ahead and take this canopy off. And while I'm here, let me just show you, this comes with a really good quality battery strap. It has the silicone on the inside to help secure the battery. It'd be a pity to cut it, but to save a bit of weight and not have anything dangling is worth it. We also get the silicone pad here to help secure the battery. And always good to check and make sure that all the screws are fastened properly. Yep, motors seem good. These ones not so good. This is not gripping onto anything. Neither is that one. Or this one. Or that one. Okay, and to remove the canopy, I just need to undo this screw here. And lift up here. So you can see the button here to change VTX, bands and channels, which is not easily accessible if the canopy is not raised, unless you use something very thin. You should be able to get through this hole on top here to do that. Not so easy from underneath. And where is the bind button for the receiver? Okay, here's the bind button for the receiver over here. Now this VTX comes with 37 channels, but 12 of them are locked because they are legal channels in some countries. So to unlock the channels, one would need to hold this button down and then plug the battery in, and that'll unlock the channels. Because if you don't unlock the channels and you end up selecting one of the locked channels, you'll end up being locked out, and then we'll have to unlock it in any case to get back in. So it would have been smarter if this was more easily accessible. With it, we also get this bag, and we got some spare standoffs, we got spare screws, not nylon screws, one small cable tie, and a spare motor nut. So let me get the radio controller ready to bind to this. Okay, so to bind, make sure you're in D8 and ready to bind. Then hold down the bind button, and while you're holding it down, plug in power and the battery. Once it powers up, you can release the bind button and you'll see a solid green light ready for binding. Then press bind and then stop the bind process. Disconnect the battery, and when you reconnect the battery again, you should see a solid blue light. So now I'm going to connect it up to Betaflight and have a look at the Betaflight settings. So this is it connected up to Betaflight, and I always recommend do a backup of the default settings. So if you click backup here, you can save this file in a directory of your choice. And then it's also good to back up the CLI. And if you don't know how to do this, just search for backing up CLI and you'll find information on this. I'm just going to type in dump. And we go to the top of the CLI page. We can see that the target here is the Matic F405 version 4.0.0 dated April the 11th 2019. Now the instruction booklet said the hardware target for this is the Matic F411 XR, I think it was, so that's a bit confusing, but they recommend that you don't change any firmware and that the settings that it comes out with are optimized, but they do update the CLI, so you can always check on their website, Emax USA, and I had a look. There is a updated CLI to sort out an issue with a 6S battery, but I'm not going to be flying this with a 6S, so I'm not going to update the CLI. So if we have a look at ports, okay, UART2, we've got serial RX enabled. On UART4, we've got camera, runcam, and UART5, VTX for SmartAudio. So although this has a CADX camera, it's got this set up for runcam, which should be fine. Look at configuration. So we quad X, D-Shot 600. Motors are set to spin when armed, which is good. Craft name, BHR4. I'm going to change this to BHawk Pro 4. Serial based receiver, SpecSat and S-Bus, which is fine. Soft serial enabled, telemetry, LED strip, air mode, OSD and anti-gravity. Dynamic filter. And then under beeper configuration, most of it enabled. Here, but not that critical. Look at power and battery. So minimum cell voltage 3.3, maximum 4.3, and warning at 3.5, which is is fine. Failsafe, set to drop. Now we look at the pits. These are the default pits. So here we've got a profile 2 and a rate profile 1. Let me just put it on to profile 1. See if it changes. No, it doesn't. So, okay, we'll just leave it 2 with rate profile 1. But I'm not going to change the pits, and Emax recommend you don't, but we'll see how it goes. Look at receiver, TAER 1234, RSSI on auxiliary 5, and I'm just going to plug a battery in. Okay, battery plugged in, so just have a look. I've got throttle, I've got yaw, I've got pitch, and I've got roll. Look at modes. I've got arm on auxiliary 2. Speeds on auxiliary 3. Oh, beeper, I've got a conflict here, so let me just put that to auto and select the switch I'd like to use for beeper. Now that's going to auxiliary 5. I haven't got anything on auxiliary 1, so I'm going to leave that on auxiliary 1. And flip over after crash. I've got on auxiliary 4. Just going to click on save. And just check 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Now if we look at OSD, we've got RSSI value enabled, time at 2, which is fly minutes over here. Fly mode, I like enabling fly mode. I want the RSSI in the top right. I want low battery warning down here. Stability here. Still saying the craft is BHR4. I'll need to double check that. Current. I also like VTX channel showing, so I'm going to enable VTX channel. And put it there. Warnings enabled, average cell voltage. That's good. I'm going to click on save. And I'm going to go to the CLI and I'm going to set up my VTX channel. So I type in get VTX. Now I can see the band is set up on band 4 and channel 6, but I want it on F4, 5800 megahertz. So I'm going to need to change the band to 4 and the channel to 4. I type in set space VTX underscore band space equal space 4, so that it appears the same as it is there, and hit enter. And I'm going to type in set VTX underscore channel space equal space 4 enter, and then type in save, and enter. And if I go back into CLI now, and I type in get VTX, and see VTX band is 4 and VTX channel is 4. And then after you've made all your settings, it's good to do a backup of the file I did in the beginning again, and also back up your own settings now by backing up the CLI again. And a quick test just to see if FPV and everything's okay. I'm on the band and channel that I want. I use SmartAudio. I can get into the menu to change profile, settings, features. I look at VTX here, band Fat Shark, channel 4, 25 milliwatts power. Put that up to 200. To set, confirm, back. Yeah, we can change it and put it into pit mode as well. LED strip, more power, fail safe, back. Look at OSD here. Info. And I'm going to save and reboot. Getting a warning that it's getting too hot now. So this is it all set up and ready to go. Looking forward to flying this. So I'll test it first of all with the 2.4 props, which I'll attach when I'm in the field. So let's go and see how this baby goes. Let's see how this Emax BabyHawk Pro 4 goes. Okay, so it's getting pushed a bit to the right by the wind here. Okay. Going nicely. It is quick. I'm not even going full throttle. FPV screen looks good, getting more sky at the moment. Responsive, quick, nice. Very impressed. Does sound nice. Look nice. Getting low here. The wind is strong and it's really handling it very, very well. Okay, this is into the wind. Bring it by here. Very impressed with how nice this is, how stable it is, how well it responds, and how it flies. Very nice. I'm not sure why I haven't got OSD on the screen. Battery probably getting a bit low, so I'm going to bring it in. Flying time of 5 minutes 50 seconds on the 850 mAh battery. So wow, that was really nice. Very impressed with how this flies, responds, and maneuvers, particularly in quite a strong wind. A good flying time with the 850 mAh battery. So really great 4-inch FPV racer. And one last thing, I was a little bit wary about this antenna being here and so close to the props, but it went okay. I think it would be best to move this, but what I think I'll do is get this antenna, and I'll put a link in the description for this too, and fit it onto here, probably around about here, and then also get the 2.4 gigahertz antenna further up and out of the way. And when I go outdoor racing again, I'll post another video of this on an outdoor racetrack. So please subscribe, like, comment and share if you like my videos.